Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I'm Gary, your host. This is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. Now, this time, we're going to take a look at is a special book. It's basically a portfolio of comic book work done by students from the Joe Kubert School. So this is from 1984, and this is, as far as I can tell, this is a one-shot, because I can't find anything about any others. So this is the Joe Kubert School presents First Folio #1 from PC Comics. It's PC, it's Pacific Comics. 1984. And so this is all schoolwork done by Joe Kubert's students, and most of whom then went on to we see later as long and distinguished careers in the comics field. Then, of course, it has this very dynamic cover illustration by Joe Kubert, indicating something from one of the stories here. And it was and most of the stuff is probably assignment work, or perhaps portfolio work. It doesn't. I didn't reread the text on the inside front cover, so and I'm sure Joe specified that. Whether, but it for this it doesn't matter. Of course, for those who may not be aware, Joe Kubert School is one of the finest schools for comic book, cartoon, and illustration work out there. Teaching these young artists everything they need to know for the professional field. We'll have to look how intricate and detailed the etchings on the blade of that sword is. Okay, here is Joe's thing. As I said, I did not reread it, but the first little story is done by Joe Kubert himself. A Moment in War. It is pantomime, no dialogue at all. A Moment in War, and it looks like it's probably a Sergeant Rock, but Sergeant Rock's not named, so it's not. As you can see, it's in the war, World War II. Young private finds a stray dog in a bombed out village, and they're happy to meet one. But you see here, so this is basically teaching a lesson in visual storytelling, as you can see right here. He finds the dog. There's a young German soldier, and they both look about the same age, probably 18. And they're both frightened, pull their guns. Oh, they hear the gunfire, and both the young soldiers and the puppy have been killed. It's a tragic. See, a lot of pathos, a lot of story being told, a tragedy, not a lick of dialogue. And it's beautiful work of visual storytelling. Then we have another. This is The Crown of Thorns by Mike Chen, who I'm not familiar with, and Ron Randall, who I am familiar with, who's had a long history at DC Comics and others as well. A night in medieval time, a terrible storm. A knight is heading to this castle. He's on a quest for the Holy of Holies, and he's heard stories about this, and he's here for his own glory. He gets into the castle. Of course, his thoughts tell us what's going on, the stories, the background, and how people have come and never left this place, and it was hard to find, but he found it. He gets there, and here's a woman, this lovely woman, chained up, and she says, "Oh, these." So came here with my husband, who was a knight. He was killed. I was violated by the keepers of this place, and they're evil. So he is compassionate, and she promises him rewards for helping her. He frees her, and she takes him up to where the hooded denizens, the cloaked denizens of this castle are. It says, "My husband's lands will be yours, brave knight, as I will be." He said, "You must kill them all." And he rushes in, and you can see some of the strong Kubert influence in this early art, especially like this figure, right? These figures right here. And he lays into these monks, and finally, the last one says, "Blind fool, you have undone us. You are the evil one." He runs him through. There is the Holy of Holies. It is the crown of thorns. And she says, "She is the evil one who was bound here, and now you have freed her." And she transforms into this horrid demonic being. He grabs the crown of thorns, and again another strong Kubert style figure here, and she is with the power of the thorns, of the crown of thorns, she is defeated, turned back into her human form, but now, as the dying monk says, your fate, foolish knight, is past forgiveness. I die now, but you must remain here forever to guard the witch and the crown of thorns." Oh. Then we have an ad for the Joe Kubert School 3-year programs, all that stuff. Here's another little story. And again, these are largely exercises seem to be exercises in visual storytelling, where this spaceship and is being trained to physical barriers, and this one has been chased for 25 years, and you can see the evil ones. I can feel his eyes, and then chase. He gets to the right point, and boom, he bursts through the comic page, and it's switched. It was friends playing a game, a mind game. So now it's his turn to chase the other one. Oh. And again, another one. That was by Adam Kubert, and then this next one is by Andy Kubert, Joe's Boys. And again, you can really both the Kubert boys at various times have very strong resemblance to their father's style. Of course, over the years they have developed and matured away from that, but you can really see it here. Again, visual storytelling. The guy the trophy, man being chased through a snowfield. You can see him being looked at through field glasses. He's running, hopefully for safety. He's boxed in, and then he's taken down. And then we see some weird alien hunter, and he says, "Now I got a good trophy." And another fantasy one here of the dragon, and I couldn't find the name who did this one. And a knight is being charged by his king to go to a specific village where they are being harassed by a dragon in the forest, and they're getting ready to present a young a young virgin female as a sacrifice to protect them from the dragon. He puts a stop to that, and he goes off into the forest, and we never really see the dragon. Then he's attacked from ambush. His horse is slain, and he goes head to head with the dragon that he cannot thoroughly see, but he's in the process of the battle. He thrusts with his sword and passes out. And later he comes to. His sword is gone. So, the dragon must be slain and is gone. His sword is gone. The dragon's gone. He was next to a river. And here really see another strong Kubert influence here. And it turns out it was a bear. Of course, no one knows that. It was a bear on floating down the river on debris with the sword in his heart. And another one, all pantomime. Again, a good exercise in visual storytelling. The things that go bump in the night. The guy working at home, thump thump, in his house, thump thump thump, goes up in a little room. He checks it out. He's got a mop for a weapon. Sees all these eyes. It's a mother cat and her little kittens. Goes, how cute! And while he's being lovey-dovey with them, out from behind him comes this horrid demon. Oh yeah! And then criminal operations. And that was an Andy Kubert story as well. Then we come a Rex Lindsay story. I seldom see Rex Lindsay's work in this kind of stuff because he is the longtime artist at Archie Comics. So, criminal operations. This is on we find out there's on this moon base, there's like a serial killer of some kind, and they're finding these corpses all over the place with organs having been removed from them. And so the lady in charge calls the authorities on Earth to send someone to help them investigate. And this young lady, Crystal Tips is her name, is to investigate, and she is transported a la Star Trek to the moon. She was given a new belt, some new equipment by her version of Q, and then she's teleported to the moon colony, and she starts investigating, and in the process they comes across another corpse, but then some gases is released. Oh no, it'll knock her out, but she takes a pill from her, basically her utility belt, and then feigns unconsciousness. She's dragged off, taken somewhere, and she's put on a conveyor belt. But she's not unconscious. She wakes up. She gets in. She sees these chambers with all these bodies in this preservant, and sees it's a big operation, organ harvesting operation for organ transplant, but she's discovered. Fight, and when her manages to get the upper hand on her assailant, when he is accidentally shot by the lady in charge, who actually asked for help. Now they're together. They're on the conveyor belt, going to the to be dumped in the chambers of these preservants where they keep these bodies. But she, the villainous lady, she falls in, and no, don't worry, I'm not going to let you drown. She stops. Our hero releases her, takes her prisoner, finds out that yes, this was all a ruse. It was just becoming. They were going to wind up framing the investigator for being the villain. So she's taken in, and the whole operation is busted. But instead of transporting back, she takes a shuttle back home. Then here's another one. This is Brad Joyce. I'm not familiar with a little thing in swamps in Florida. This guy out hunting and drinking, getting drunk, and got lost. and he's eventually forced to drink the swamp water, which will give you a swamp fever, and then he goes into his hallucinations. So that something always happens with these people who get lost, and we see the horror of him being torn apart, and later his body, body and dismembered body, it was found and buried. So it's got some science fiction and short horror type things. It's a fun read. It's probably a relatively rare find. I once had this way back when, and haven't had a copy for years, and then I picked it up for next to nothing last year, I think it was. So, but it's a neat look to see at some of the work that the young students were doing at the time, because see, most of these artists then become well-known mainstays in the comics field today. So if you've never seen that, this is a little nice thing to see. So that's all I have to share with you this time. The Joe Kubert School First Folio. Have you seen and or read this before? What did you think of it? If so, have you never seen it before? Let me know that as well. And maybe you're unaware of the Joe Kubert School, although I don't know how you could be if you're into comics, because well, the ads still pop up from time to time. Okay, so thank you for joining me, and remember, comics are art.